Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar this cold, chilly evening, and we're delighted to welcome you all. No matter where you are more than welcome. And this webinar is going to be about looking back over the last year and seeing some of the features that we've launched in ThingLink, some of our favorite ThingLinks, and we hope that you'll join in the chat. As always, we will send you an email after the webinar has finished, and it'll include all of the links, all of the resources and the slides and anything else that we can think of that we think that you would love. So do have a look for that email that should arrive about 15 minutes or so after the end. We are also joined by Ivan, who's going to be answering your questions. So please do, if you've got any questions at all, any comments, any feedback, any reflections, any favorite things that you'd like to share, please do so. Put them in the chat. We love giving you a shout out. So hi, Lisa is joining us from London. A warm welcome to you, Lisa. And we also have someone joining us from Oman, Hannah. So welcome. Please do say hello. And of course, it's not just me. I am delighted to be joined by some of my favorite ThingLink webinar hosts who you will have seen before if you've watched any of our webinars. There's Claudia. She always brings the attention. She always brings the love and the vibes. Claudia, how are you?
I'm great. It's super icy and cold here in Aosta Valley, but I'm so happy to be with you guys. And tonight, be ready for some serious amazingness, because tonight we are going to discover the top ThingLink features and tools that launch in 2024, not 2004. I'm so sorry. I'm back 20 years ago. No. 2024. Thank you very much. We will also explore how they have empowered creators to build immersive learning experiences, interactive documents, and dynamic virtual tours. Be ready, because tonight it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, what an introduction, Claudia. Thank you. And I see we've got people joining us from Seattle, from New Jersey, from Canada. So a big welcome to you all. We hope that you are kicking back, thinking of the holidays that are soon going to be upon us. And of course, Claudia represents our education community. Claudia is a district digital learning coordinator from the Aosta Valley in Italy, and it must be super holiday Christmassy and snowy there in the mountains in Mont Blanc, which is one of my favorite places to ski in the whole world.
Yeah, but as I told you, I'm a sea person, so I can smile oozing intelligence, but in truth, I would like to be somewhere else. Also,
maybe we could go and join who's in New Jersey. It must be warm out there. So Claudia, you're bringing the education vibes and you're bringing the education inspiration, but I'm also equally as delighted to introduce, for those of you who've not met, my wonderful colleague Dee, who's our enterprise account executive. Welcome, Dee. So lovely to see you.
Hi everyone. Got to get the festive hands going for 2024.
And Dee joins us from Colorado, where it must be starting to look a bit more holiday-ish with snowy mountains. And
yes, we have white-capped mountains. No snow where I'm at yet this year, which is weird, but hopefully right before this weekend we'll get some snow.
And Dee, we're honoured that you joined the ThingLink team in 2024. So that's one of our highlights of 2024. You came and joined the team and have been heading up the kind of enterprise, all the examples, engaging with our enterprise customers. You've been focusing heavily on scenario-based learning and the new scenario builder. So you're going to be telling us a bit more about that later on in the program. I was going to say show. It is. It's always like a show, our webinars, isn't it? We've got people joining us from New York and Florida. The US contingent is strong here this evening. So I'm just going to start sharing my slides with you. Don't forget, you will be able to watch this again on demand, and also you're welcome to share any of the resources that we send you out as well. And please do ask your questions. We'll be only too glad to answer them, and if there's any account or ThingLink type questions, Ivan's going to answer those directly in the chat too. So ThingLink Unwrapped, Unboxed, in numbers, there's been lots of these kinds of things floating about, but ours is going to be a little bit different because we have our very own holiday ThingLink 2024 insights. And when you get the deck, if you click on this link, it's going to take you to ThingLink Insights of 2024. So I can already go ahead and put this link in the chat so that you can have a look at this, but we will send it out to you. So some of the ThingLink highlights of this year. So if you weren't aware, ThingLink won an award this year for the Best Realized Digitalization Award. And this was, Dee, for the scenario builder, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Great award, and we're happy we received it this year.
It's such an achievement. So this was actually for something that you're going to show later on, which is about the ability to create a whole micro-learning experience just from a PDF. So that's been a big standout moment for ThingLink. So I'm going to start with this stat here. So we now have 10.2 million creators across the planet joining us from 190 countries. So, you know, ThingLink has been going for some 10 years or so since we really kind of launched in the early days. 13, 14 years ago, it was just emerging how to create interactive images. But certainly in the last 10 years, it's really embraced different types of multimedia, different types of use cases, all those nice different tags that you can see as well. So we've had over 3 million tags created over 2023, which, that's quite impressive for 1 year.
Well, it is, and it's major because it's like, that means that creativity could express itself, and this is amazing, both for our students and for teachers, because they can achieve their potential. Amazing. Wow.
So a nice headline stat there as well. And we also have, we've got over 1 million ThingLinks created over the year. So that's in all kinds of different types of projects. So again, quite an achievement. That I think that's the most ThingLinks we've ever seen created. And we just put some nice examples there of the kinds of ThingLinks that we've been seeing. And you can click the link there and have a look at other ideas. So some nice headline figures for you there, but I'm just going to go back to a couple of other things that we've got that we really want to call out. So Claudia, you are one of our ThingLink certified trainers. And we launched that this year.
Certified trainer. Yeah.
And we onboarded a new trainer today from Italy as well. Danielle joined us, which is fantastic. So we've now got 42 trainers across 8 different countries.
Wow.
So we still want this community to grow. So if you're watching, and I know that Lisa's in the chat as well. Lisa is one of our certified trainers from the UK. If you are thinking of becoming a ThingLink certified trainer, you'll be able to click on the link on the ThingLink that I've shared with you and sign up, find out more about how you can enjoy some benefits of being part of this community. We've now got someone joining us from Argentina as well. So welcome to you there. A very hot summer there in Argentina. Another feature of 2024, we launched our referral program. Dee, do you want to tell everyone about our referral program?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the holiday season here upon us, it's give the gift of ThingLink and receive a gift card in return. So give the gift and receive the gift. Our users love us, so we want to get the word out. And you know, there's still that old school word of mouth that we love. And if you think that you know someone who would also love ThingLink, feel free to pass it along, and you'll get a little gift as well.
Yeah, because good ideas are worth sharing as well. So if you become one of our certified trainers, and Lisa is saying definitely worth doing, you know, we do have an internal way of being able to share ideas or problems or challenges and recommend solutions. But also if you want to share, your love of ThingLink, then you can do so by signing up to the referral program. And again, the links will be there for you when you get the deck. So let's move on to some of our top new features of 2024. And we're going to start calling some out now. So what we're also going to do during this webinar is highlight some of the things that will be coming in 2025 as well, because we always like to give you some sneaky peek preview roadmap style information about what's coming down the line. So you know, of course, that we've really focused on ThingLink, our core tools being the ThingLink editor and the ThingLink scenario builder. So that ability to create your interactive images, videos, 360 media, and being able to mix and match those. And then, of course, the scenario builder, which is where you can build in branches and blocks and questions, track the engagement from your learners, and you'll be able to share all of that by link or embed. And of course, you can create these with just a PDF, and we're going to be showing you those. And it's only going to get better for 2025. So let's have a look at some of the things that have helped us to do this. So the first thing, of course, is being able to generate your perfect base media. So before, of course, you had to use your own photos, or you had to be able to do that in something like Canva, which is great. And of course, now if I go into my ThingLink account, you can see here I've got my account page or my media, which is everything that I've uploaded into my ThingLink account. If you hit the create button, you'll see that you've got the ability to generate an image. You can still upload from your device, your Google Drive, your OneDrive. You can search for an image, over 2 million images with Unsplash. You can design with Canva, but you can also generate with AI. So you can generate your own 2D images. So how about a Willy Wonka style chocolate factory? Just because I'm thinking off that top of my head. And you can toggle on the enhanced prompt. So if you struggle with your prompts, this will help you to create a longer prompt. So I'm just going to click generate there. No idea what it's going to style. This is completely kind of freestyle. There we have it. So now I've created my Willy Wonka style chocolate factory directly in my ThingLink account. And of course, I can now add in all of my tags. But also imagine that I wanted to create a kind of escape room with my Willy Wonka style chocolate factory. Who doesn't love that film? And you can do that with your 360 images. So if I want to now with my 360 image, I can use our 360 library. And we've even put 360 videos in our 360 library now for you to use. You can create with the Pano to 360. You can generate with AI. And again, you can toggle on the enhanced prompt. And I'm just going to type in Willy Wonka style chocolate factory. and spell that correctly and see what it comes up. If I choose let's choose the style, let's have a fantasy style, and this is going to generate it for me as a 360 image. Now, over a year ago, you wouldn't have had these directly in ThingLink. You would have had to have gone onto a specific graphic program, have to create them. And this is something not just educators can do, not just learning designers, but students can do this directly in ThingLink as well. So we are one of the very few student-facing AI tools. And I'm going to hit continue, and there we have our new 360 scene that I've gone ahead and created. I'm going to click done, and there we have it. So that means that you can create your own fantasy. You know, it might be a book that you're conjuring up, and Claudia, you're going to talk a little bit about this as well. We have got a question that's just come in from Finland. So this is a really good question. Can you generate an animated image or a short video? Well, you could combine this image with Canva, and you could put in some generations. And if you're really eagle-eyed and you go into this create view, you can see that the image, this message of bring your own, use ours, generate with us, is there for the images. It's also there for the 360 images. And I'm pretty sure that you can hazard a guess that it won't be long before those little buttons will start popping up. And you can see that Ivan's already got in there and said, not yet. So yeah, sneaky peek preview. It won't be long before, you know, these kinds of things are going to be there for you. 360 video, of course, you can use a 360 library, 3D model. There are some sites out there where you can start to do all of these things, of course, and we encourage everyone to app smash, mix and match. We love playing with all the other tools that are out there. But yeah, two brilliant new ways for you to be able to create your base media in your ThingLink accounts. So I thought somebody might ask me this.
Louise,
Louise,
what's
yeah.
your favorite ThingLink of 2024?
I thought this was just such a really nice way to be able to demonstrate the ability to mix and match the kinds of images that you might create with AI and the kinds of images that you might use of real places. And it wasn't until I saw this example, which is from the University of Salford, which you'll be able to click on this link and be able to go to it. But we actually made a really, really nice blog post about this and a case study, because the University of Salford, they are phenomenal digital learning leaders. And what they did was, for their health courses, which was a public health course, they created this experience, and it's of a village that in the 1600s, a bit like COVID times, they quarantined themselves, and the public health students at the university were learning about what it was like to be in this village during the plague. So if you click enter, and then you go on ahead, there's a little bit of a warning here, because we always should remind people if they get triggered by anything that they see when we're thinking about learning experiences. And then you go through to the village of Eam. And this is exactly how it would have looked like in those times. They created some characters that actually told the story.
Is 1665. Eam, my home, once a quiet village, has become shrouded in the silent terror of the Great Plague.
And Simon has just put in the chat that actually all of the characters are real people, but it's because they acted out the voices and used face swap or some sort of technology to make themselves part of it. But the point of this is that you can continue through the story, learn the different characters in the village, and then eventually you get through to the actual village where it's got real photographs, real media of what it looks like today. And I think, you know, hats off to them. That is a really, really nice way of being able to combine the different types of media and also create a really engaging experience for those students that are on that course. And Simon's just putting some more comments in the chats, and the working conditions here are very poor. But yeah, so thanks ever so much to all of you at the University of Salford who created this amazing experience that we've showcased in a year, and you inspire other people to create similar experiences, but you also bring real examples to the things that we're helping to create within ThingLink. And from that example, I then went over to work with another school, and we had a school classroom which was going to be the escape room, and it went through to a castle that was nearby, and we created the dungeons in AI and made an escape room in the dungeons. So yeah, all of these types of creativity, you know, are really inspiring. There's lots of really nice comments and love coming through. So that's my favorite ThingLink of 2024. And then, of course, the other really nice example that we saw was from Stanford University, and they've created this website all about encouraging learners to create virtual field trips of a real place as well. And this is an amazing resource. So if you click on this in the deck, it'll take you to a Google site that they've created, and it's got the most amazing ways in which you can support student creation. It's got a flow about how to introduce virtual field trips. And what's lovely is they've evaluated this, and the feedback has demonstrated the learning outcomes that students can achieve in a whole range of interdisciplinary outcomes, managing digital media, improved confidence, working in groups, being able to present, knowledge retention of the places they experienced. And all of this is here on the website if you want to have a look at some of the student creations as well. An amazing one here. It doesn't even need to be a virtual trip. You've got someone's back garden here and the chickens, which is just fantastic. So they are my standout favorite examples of this year. A nod to our roadmap as well. So when it comes to thinking about student creators, and accessibility, we've focused heavily on making sure that when you create ThingLinks, they have accessibility features baked in, immersive reader, translation options. So now we've realized, and I'm not sure how many other EdTech tools do this, but make sure that accessibility is built in from the creation flow as well. So you'll see the editor having greater accessibility tools built in. So not only are you designing with accessibility in mind and multimodality, I can't speak today, you can tell it's the end of the year, but we're also thinking about accessibility by design, universal design of learning, but also in our create flow as well. So that's my little updates around some of the great features within. Talked about Panel to 360, being able to use your mobile phone to take 360 panoramic images, upload them, and turn those into photospheres. And again, that was very much part of the field trip experience, and students being able to create photospheres from just their mobile devices. So I am now going to hand over to Dee. I've waffled on enough. Who's going to talk to us about the ThingLink scenario builder? Over to you, Dee.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, I just want to kick off by talking about how big a year it was for just scenario-based learning in 2024. And it's not just ThingLink. This became a major trend in corporate training and also education because of the ability to bridge theoretical knowledge with practical application. The reason it's emerged so much is because of AI, right? Because we can now create scenarios that are immersive and are going to be put us into a world that we can recognize. So it allows us to develop those skills more easily. And to put this in perspective, this is only growing, right? ThingLink played a pivotal role in the trend with our AI scenario builder, which allowed for that AI assisted content creation. And we'll talk a little bit about that, but it also streamlined the development process. I'm sure everyone on here, if you haven't already played in ThingLink, please do. If you have, how easy it is. It's an intuitive experience. So it really helps you create these scenario-based learning experiences without the need for coding or design experience. So I know we just talked about students creating ThingLinks. They can also now create scenarios, which builds something. Yeah. And it's easy enough for anyone to use.
That is like a really good lesson, isn't it? To kind of plan your, what would you do in this situation, and use that as a student experience to create and then share with other students and see what they made of it.
And it's a modern education strategy. So you can start at any point in time. And we've, been able to, this is what I've been most excited about with joining ThingLink in 2024 is the scenario-based learning, because it is really where the learning field in corporate learning is headed, because there are so many practical applications and enhanced learning outcomes.
And especially in the world of AI, when you can just search for something, get more detailed results. It's not just like a line of results anymore. It's so much knowledge is just so quickly obtained that how do you actually impart skills? And this is a really nice way of being able to develop a skills-based approach.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to, I'd love to share my favorite kind of scenario. And it was really hard to choose one. The reason I chose, because I have to give a little bit of context, the one I'm going to show is because it is a practical application. We're talking about healthcare here. We're a clinical pathway of a stroke patient. So we're giving, if you've been on any of the webinars I've attended before, I've focused really heavily on failure-based learning, but we're giving learners a choice, whether it's the right one or the wrong one, and they're able to learn from those. And this is why I chose this example. Of course, we're going to give kind of that outline, what you will experience as you go through here, but we can jump in and it feels like that real world experience of, okay, I get that alert message. We'll go ahead and jump to that alert message. And we know now what we're dealing with. From here, I will have choices, right? But this feels very real. This is a situation I can be in my everyday life, in my job, in my role. And I know that this is something that could possibly happen. And when we go from here, I now have choices. And I want to show this, what happens from here, but I could see if it's incorrect, I get that feedback, or I can jump ahead and now it'll ask me to make my first assessment on the patient. Now I'm going to go ahead and shift to what this looks like as you're building the scenario. Wow. So like I said, we have choices, and those different choices take us down different paths. And the reason I like this one so much is because it gives you feedback. It lets you understand if you made the wrong choice, what that looks like, and what the correct action is, so that when we have our healthcare professionals on the front lines dealing with this in a real world situation, they know the right decisions to make because they've failed. They know what it means if they don't make the right choices. And you can see how far this goes, which is really, really incredible. The amount of choices that we can make throughout and the amount of learning that comes from that.
And it looks like you can, see the impact of a choice, not just right away, but much, much further down the line. So it's like that opportunity cost model, isn't it? That if you actually made a different choice, 5 steps earlier, it would have had a whole different outcome. What a valuable lesson to learn, and a valuable way to learn, to see the error of your ways. That makes me sound like a really old parent then.
Well, and I like this too, because they've also implemented a point system, right? We can have scores based off of the amount, the questions that we got right. And again, I am not a fan of, I think people should fail. We learn best from failure. We will correct our actions from it. So it's not necessarily that, but to just understand, once I do go the right way, the correct outcomes versus the, those failure outcomes as well.
That's amazing. And also, there's something that you highlighted right at the very start of that scenario, when the person has got the alert, and Dr. Leah, who's at the University of Salford, who I love shouting out, she identified the feelings that you can have associated with a situation. So you might have more empathy, you might have a heightened sense of urgency or panic that actually can help you to then be more aligned with the context of the learning experience. So again, that's, something about having things in context and relatable characters, because if the character looked ridiculous, you probably think, well, that doesn't make sense. How do I kind of, if something was just too wacky or even too stereotyped, it would lose the credibility of the experience, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. And that's why we talk about how important it is, as you're building these stories, to make the characters relatable, to actually put thought into those pieces, because we do want them to be realistic, but we also want to provoke those emotions as well in this healthcare scenario. But we'll talk about, and I believe I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. The next slide.
There's a really, really great question here from Fiona, and says, that's so impressive looking at it that way. Do you have any tips on how to map out all of that before building? It looks amazing. But of course, this is why we've got the ThingLink Scenario Builder, because we can give you a hand with that creation process. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that, Dee? And also, you can give us some sneaky peeks into what's coming.
Yes. So absolutely, we have lots of tips when it comes to this and creating it today. To get you started, however, we do have the Create with AI, right? You can just upload a PDF, a PowerPoint, and we can get you started. And that becomes, you have a couple different options there to give you a sneak peek into 2025, because we have our micro learning and our linear scenario today that you can build. But sneaky peeky, we are also looking at creating a scenario from a prompt and having it be an actual scenario-based learning experience, where it will give a few different choices and map that out for you, and then you can start building from there. So we try to make it as easy for you as possible. So that's a little sneak peek into what's to come in 2025.
So Fiona, when you get I'm speaking to Fiona, who put that lovely question in there, is that already in the scenario builder, you'll see that you can generate branches and generate questions. And that's actually in the tool itself. But what Dee is saying is that you'll just be able to write in a prompt, say, create me a scenario about what to do in a situation of risk. I find someone that's had a heart attack or something, anything that you can think of, you could use it for so many different things. And it will already start to map all of that out for you, which is just phenomenal. So
what a time saver, right?
Yeah, continuously improving the app. And then Simon has said, try something simple like a PDF of a standard operating procedure to get started, which is really, really helpful. Great advice. And Claudia, without ruining your bit, you're going to be talking about this as well in a short moment. But I'm just going to show people that this is, if I just pop my screen back on. So here's a PDF that I've got here, which is actually of, milk techniques. I can share the link with you to try this. And if you download this and then upload it into the scenario builder, it will create a branched learning experience, which is like a micro learning experience rather than a situation. And you'll be able to go through different branches based on content, essentially. So yeah, it's going to do all of that for you. So going back to our deck D, what are some of the other uses that you've seen this being used for?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see a few of them listed here. So when we're talking about health and safety training, so simulating workplace hazards and accidents. What happens if I spill something? What are the consequences of that action? Or forklift safety training. That's a big example and something that we see in those high risk environments where safety training is so crucial because it could lead to those real world consequences, and for organizations, costly. They'll be paying some fines for some of these things, or they'll have to pay back a lot of what they lose. Another application would be that soft skills development. So let's say when we're talking about manager training, that's a great one right there of how do I handle a conflict in the workplace between two of my employees? Well, we can present a realistic workplace conflict with challenges that the manager has to overcome, and based off of the way he answers specific questions, we can see the different outcomes through there. And of course, that'll help improve problem solving, empathy, conflict resolution skills. So really just building on those soft skills. We just saw a real life situation, but you can also think of real life situations like a customer interaction if you're in customer service, or construction. I actually had this happen today, so I will bring this, but where to dig and where not to dig. If I dig somewhere and it's in the middle of somebody's lawn, what are the consequences of that? I had one of our cable people come by and they wanted to dig in the middle of our lawn, and that was not okay, of course. So, where to dig and where not to dig to make a customer unhappy, that's that situation. But it could be something more costly, like will I hit a gas line, and what are the consequences of that action? In healthcare, medical emergencies, it is so critical to practice in a simulated environment. Most healthcare organizations already have simulation departments where they practice on. So being able to do that in a virtual environment as well really helps for them to be confident when those real world emergencies take place and make those decisions quickly in those moments. And then finally, ethical decision making. Think about just anything that comes to ethics. If we think about the legal environment, anything like that, what decisions do I make, and what are the consequences either way, whether good or bad? And you do, in general, this is just scenario-based learning develops critical thinking. So it's a great application to start thinking about any ethical decision-making in general as well.
Amazing. And I'm just going to go onto this tab here. So on the interactive insights ThingLink that we've made for you all, there is a button here with scenario builder, which actually takes you to another ThingLink where I've put all those new updates with the ThingLink scenario builder. We've got our ThingLink scenario-based learning guide, which you'll be able to download our how-to guide. There's other webinar links, but there's also 6 examples there for you to explore. So you'll be able to just have a look at those. And some of those are phenomenal. They look beautiful as well. The cabin crew training program. You can pretend that you're working on a 747. We've got the forklift safety training, a fire safety one, and Dee's very own sales objection handling. And they range between those kind of challenges, and you're making a decision about a challenge, and the ones that Simon has put into the chat, which is more around, a kind of standard operating procedure. So that is there for you to get going. So that is all on the ThingLink that you are going to get, with all of the things there about how to generate questions, how to generate branches, and the AI features. So do have a look at that when it comes out to you after the webinar. So now we've seen ThingLink being used in the context of education, of enterprise, that kind of e-learning model, if you like. But let's go over to Claudia, who's going to show us all about the kinds of educational uses. So Claudia, over to you.
Thank you so much. So as you can see, this is one of my favorite. What I did here, I created an interactive literature project where I combine a classic tale, Christmas Carol by Dickens, and social emotional learning. So what I did here, I think is pure magic. You know why? Because here I combined literature with something immersive, interactive, and educational. And I did it just in seconds. And this is the power of ThingLink. So you can create something amazing and immersive and interactive in a few seconds, and you can achieve the competence you want your students to go for. And this is just something that not everyone can deliver, and this is very, very important. This is a branch scenario, and here students can navigate through choices, decisions, and consequences. What I did was, I'm gonna show you because I'm Italian and I have to explain everything step by step. So what I did basically was to create a scenario builder, and of course the video is not working. Woo! Okay, now it's working. That's good. So I chose scenario builder and I decided to upload a PDF. So this time I am going to use a Christmas Carol PDF. Mind my Italian, because that was meant for an Italian audience, but the instructions are in English, so please have fun with that anyway. So basically here I wrote the name of the scenario, A Christmas Carol, and then I decided, of course, that I wanted to create it with artificial intelligence. What else? And then I described my training scenario, and I asked ThingLink and AI to create a scenario that combines the story of Dickens and social emotional learning from the point of view of the main character, that is to say, Scrooge. So basically, we have the evolution of Scrooge over the book and the evolution of the different characters. The power of ThingLink is also that we can use another target language. So it's not just English. We have 5 and more to come, different types of languages that we can actually use. And this is amazing. Here, as you can see, I uploaded the PDF that is in Italian, but you can see you can upload any PDF that you want. And then, of course, I decided to choose Italian as the target language for my scenario because I thought that was making sense because my book was in Italian. Then I clicked on continued, and of course, in artificial intelligence did its magic. Of course, I asked for branched. What else? I wanted to have a branch scenario. So yes, I want the best of the best. And so artificial intelligence identified learning objectives for me, content areas, and then showed me a possible selection where I could choose from what I wanted. Because I thought that was just amazing, I left everything as it was. But can you imagine the potential of changing competencies and content areas on the spot? And this is just the power of ThingLink, in my opinion. And of course, amazing for us teachers. So once we mapped out the scenario structure, generated content, we build the blocks, and then we organize the structure, the final result, I'm going to show that in a second, is this one. That you're going to see 10 minutes later because my Italian connection is so poor. So basically you have this well, drama as always, as per usual with me. So here you've got the learning scenario, and it's branched. And then you've got you can let me show you something. So here you've got, basically, you can edit, you can add timer, because if it's like an escape room or something that you need to answer in a certain way, you can add timer, you can add tags, so you can label, you can add scores as well, and of course you can have a preview, and you can duplicate, because maybe you want to duplicate the block, to create something different. And if you don't want it, of course you can delete it. And in my opinion, this is just amazing, because you are in charge all the time. Because with artificial intelligence, we think, oh my God, artificial intelligence is going to take over. It's not going to take over. We are in charge, and we decide what's amazing and what's not. And so we can create amazingness in seconds. Then let me show you something else. So this is the scenario. Let me see. Let me show you. So these are the topics that I decided to, I created a ThingLink scene, and I created a ThingLink scene talking about character analysis, social emotional learning, and the combination of two. And of course, the literature analysis, because let's not forget, we're talking about A Christmas Carol, and then of course, creative writing. Then following along, you've got the scenario that opens up, and then you have the different things here. I want to show you that, because can you listen to the crackling of the fire that I put it, just to keep an immersive experience to my students. And this is so cool, and I love it so much, because I think that this is the power of having video, audio, and pictures all combined together to create competencies. And then of course you have all the selection of the transformation, everything created with AI, thank you very much, and the ghost impact, and of course kindness and compassion. So here are the different themes that I want to explore within the book, and I did it as you saw that in a matter of seconds. Then we're going to talk about the picture, because I've got a very, very amazing surprise for you. And then, of course, it's going on, introduction, and then you've got choose a topic to explore. So, can you imagine in a setting of flip classroom the power of this? Branch scenario, because basically students can work independently and learn at their own pace, with their own time, and to achieve their competencies. So that's something that I believe it's one of a kind. We can't really see much of that. And then if you scroll here, you've got the learning objectives, the journey of Scrooge. This is, of course, a for instance. Then you've got the was, and then of course I had to use Disney, because what else, and the after, so the before and the after, the worst experience of his life. And then you've got feedback and feed forward. And this is amazing for our students, because of course then they say, okay, now you identify the key aspects of Scrooge transformation, and think, consider how Scrooge change impacts those around him. How does his newfound empathy ripple through the community? Can you imagine? So it's not just a simple stimulus response. It's not stimulus response at all. This is something that opens students' minds, critical thinking, problem solving, and so on and so forth. And this is the power of one of the amazing powers of the branch scenario. And then when you finish, like, let's see. So of course it's going to be wrong. No, so congratulations, you answered correctly. So you've got an amazing feedback, and then you can go back to topic selection. This is just something out of this world. Then, of course, you noticed that in my presentation of the branch scenarios, I had a selection of pictures. And now I'm going to show you how to create images with ThingLink within ThingLink. You crazy? So you lost your mind? No, no, no. Now with ThingLink, you can create images within ThingLink. So you have a prompt. You're gonna go onto multimedia editor. You're gonna choose create, of course, and then you are going to answer the prompt in the editor. So generate with AI, and then copy and paste, as simple as that, generate the picture. And then in a matter of seconds, you have an amazing picture ready for you to use. Say, but how can I use it? Is in ThingLink. I'm going to show you now. So basically, three dots, view source media, and ta-da, then you've got the image. And you can save your image on your desktop in a matter of seconds. And then when you're done, you can save. So the me of the past is kind of slow, please forgive her. Then you can name the picture, you can save the picture, and then you can upload the picture within your first English. So can you imagine that? This is amazing. And then you already have everything that you need there. You've got the prompt, you've got your amazingness, and you've got the final results in a matter of seconds. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited. This is amazing. Yay.
Claudia, that was amazing. It's just so cool. And, you know, what you've both done together is show what Scenario Builder can be used for in a school community. Because Claudia, with students, but also Dee, what about if the administrators want to use it for training about the mandatory things, whether it's health and safety, or what do you do when a parent comes in, you know, how do you handle it? And it just shows how it doesn't matter where you are, what organization that you're in, you're going to be able to use all of these tools in different ways for your whole school community, even communicating with parents and carers with interactive elements where you can have those translation features. So thank you both of you so much for giving us that wonderful overview. I know that time's moving on, so I am just going to go back very quickly because I really want to share that in the Insights ThingLink that I've created for you, you'll see that there are some other amazing bits of news. 29 languages are now in the AI translations feature. If you go to the bottom of a ThingLink where it's turned on, you'll see that you can toggle on whatever language you've got that you want to use. There's 29 languages there. So imagine I can just click Italiano, then all of my tags will now have, I've gone to the wrong one, let me just go back the way, all of the text will be translated into whichever language you want. So if I just go on to here, you'll see that's not translated, but it will do, I promise. If I go into it will, trust me, if I go into the top level 1, it will have translated. If I go into that and choose, I'm determined to get it to work now. Italian, there we have it. And it's still not done it, but it will do, I promise you, if we share it with you. So Lisa has asked about the accuracy of the level of translation.
It's very good. I can tell you that. It's very good. It's very accurate. And this is another power that ThingLink has to offer. Yeah, it's very accurate. And I work in 3 languages, English, Italian, and French. And I can tell you that I've never had a complaint about that. So, yeah.
And then we've also got Amy, who's made a question here or a comment about accessibility purpose. So Amy, what you might want to consider, or what maybe you don't know, is that when you're in ThingLink, and I'm just going to go into this one, this one here, you can actually toggle on an accessibility view. So if you click on the accessibility view, it takes you to this page where you can view the whole ThingLink as a web page, and then you have the different accessibility options. Toggle on screen readers. Here you can see that I've got different contrast on, but all of the videos and the tags will also play here with additional controls. You can change the font, you can change all kinds of saturation. So the accessibility features isn't limited to Immersive Reader or the translation tool. There's lots of other accessibility features in there as well. So just wanted to highlight that for you. So time is moving on. I can just quickly come to the last couple of slides, which is, as always, our developments wouldn't be what they are without your feedback. And Ivan, who's answering the questions in the chat, his team are just phenomenal at listening, gathering your suggestions, discussing that with the rest of us, and being quick to turn things around. So if you do have any additional feedback or you want to ask any questions, you've got any other support requests, we love Ivan and the team, and I'm sure you will as well. There's always lots of love for Ivan and the team on our webinars because they do an absolutely phenomenal job. Everything we've shown you, Dee, you've got your own page here now.
Yes, if you scan that QR code, you can schedule a demo directly with me. I know Fiona, you asked about tips. If you want to, this is typically, I'm happy to schedule a time to talk about tips with creating scenarios. Also, if you want to grow your use case, I'm more than happy to do that as well.
Yeah, and Fiona, on the ThingLink we've sent you out, there's also our guidance in there that you can use, but Dee's our resident expert as well as Claudia, but Dee will be there if you want to have a demo, and we'll encourage anybody, if you haven't tried it, sign up for a demo with Dee, and also you can have a trial account and start for free. In terms of Claudia's contact, so Claudia, you've got your own link tree, which is in the email that everyone's going to get afterwards as well. Is it okay if anyone gets in touch with you if they want to?
Of course.
And there was a question: would you share your wonderful Dickens scenario as well?
It's in the cat. This, so
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, it's in the deck. So we're going to share the deck, and the link is right where behind the book, hidden behind the book. So yes, enjoy.
Yeah, amazing. So all that's left for us to say on behalf of the entire ThingLink team, we know that Christmas isn't a time of comfort for many people. Holiday seasons can be challenging for all kinds of reasons. So for this reason, we want to say to you, please look after yourselves over the holidays. If you want to find some quiet time, reflect, take some time for yourself, and know that there is lots of support and kindness and love that radiates from our team out to everybody watching this webinar, whether you're on demand or whether you're watching live here. We really do hope you have the most fantastic, restful holiday season, and keep in touch with us. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the new year, where things are only going to get better. So any last thoughts from yourselves, Dee or Claudia?
Just thank you, everyone. I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday season. Stay healthy, stay happy, and we hope to see you again in the new year.
And Claudia, you started our webinar with your wonderful passion. So would you like to share some closing words with us?
Oh, thank you so much for being with us in this amazing learning path, this amazing learning adventure. We really appreciate your help and support. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. We love you all, and we'll see you soon in 2025.
Bye. Take care, everyone. Thanks ever so much. And it's a really lovely, warm, wonderful goodbye from all of us. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.